Dave, the GE100, it's not a tool I'd necessarily associate with Guhring before today. My first impression, it's an overturning tool. Is that what it is?
Correct, absolutely. It was a company that we bought a number of years ago. It's been part of the Guhring family. They have a small factory in Wilhelmsdorf in Germany, and it was a company, an old friend of Dr. Guhring, and it was a company we purchased, say it was about 20 years ago. And it's been run almost separately all the way through from there, and still is. I mean, they're always there at exhibitions. They always have their own part of the stand. And they're looked on as specialists in their area, primarily within Germany, but obviously the benefit now is to be able to sell that around the world. And we've done some applications in the UK, but it's probably good to make people aware of what we can do. But as you rightly say, John, it is something that we're not thought of primarily, and that applies to quite a few things that Guhring do nowadays, that we get pigeonholed for one area, but there's a lot of other diversity into other areas.
So who's using this tool? Is it purely for chamfering bar ends, or can we go into components as well?
Absolutely, you can go into components as well. We've got some literature which shows some of the basic applications, and you'd be quite surprised actually the kind of areas. You know, typically it's used quite extensively within certain components within the automotive industry. It can be used into general engineering, so you're looking at valve manufacture, you're looking at for pipe fittings, you're looking at water pipes. Within the automotive industry, you've got the gas dampeners at the end, so you've got the bar at the end of that one, the drive shafts. Many applications realistically where it is a purely repetitive, one after the other, bang, 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 and there's no real adjustment required. You can do all those applications on a standalone CNC turning centre, but it works quite well just to do it all in one here.
What are the main advantages? I guess you can rough, finish and chamfer all in the same process, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean, if you've got a situation, say on a pipe fitting where you've just got to do literally millions of one actual application, to have the flexibility of a CNC machine would be very good, but you don't necessarily need it. Whereas you can build all that total process into one bar end system and literally attack all of those actual processes at the same time. So you can face with it, you can centre with it, you can overturn with it, you can chamfer with it. And the beauty of those, so long as it's within the tolerance of the component, it doesn't need adjustment.
Sure. What is the adjustment? Obviously you need a presetter, but
yeah.
Typically what tolerances could you achieve?
You could quite happily hold 0.1, 0.05. It really is down to the accuracy of the presetter that you've got. We do some other systems which are more fine boring equipment, etc. But purely for what it is from there, they can very happily cope with the tolerances required for some of the basic components that we're machining.
And you can supply all the inserts as well?
Absolutely, we make them. We supply all the inserts and various carbide grades, various geometries, and various coatings as well. So these are all available within it. From a drilling aspect in the end, you can use it as a centre drill. This one here particularly is a radius centre drill, but you could also do that with a drill or a step drill, and you could drill and counterbore, drill and chamfer, so it can be very, very flexible what you're actually doing within it. It's fully adjustable within it, so you can adjust the diameter of the overturning section, so you're able to slacken it off from such, and then your adjustment comes from the actual side mechanism.
It's a very specialist range. Does that mean I have to wait? Are they all made to order?
These are all standard items. This is all part of a standard range, so you're able to do. Usually what we would ask the customer to do is to send us a component drawing. Once we have the component drawing, then we would have a look then whether we need a 2-position head or a 3-position head or a 4-position head, and what the makeup of that head would be. So whether that would be for drilling and chamfering, the centre drilling, sorry. The centre drill itself, by the way, I forgot to mention, is fully adjustable in from the side as well. So it has a taper screw in from the side of the component, which then is able to move the centre drill in and out. Sorry, only out. You have to lock it off and bring it back again. So it only adjusts forward, not out from there. You can adjust the the actual angle of a chamfer, an external chamfer, from that kind of thing from there. So that works quite well as well.
Very versatile, isn't it?
Very much so.
And this is supported from the UK. We don't have to go to Germany.
No, not at all from there. We're able to support it from here. We have 2 or 3 customers at the moment that have been using the product for many years. And the benefit to them is then if they do have a smash up or a breakage or whatever, they're able to read each individual component should it be required. So no problem. We can stock it in the UK.